only thing more permanent than Trump's tax cuts is liberals' denial. You guys gotta check this video out.
More than 100 countries have only 3 more days to meet the deadline he set to make tariff deals. Here with me now to talk about all of that is Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Let's start with the new law and who it helps. The Tax Policy Center says the majority of the tax benefits will go to Americans making $217,000 or more a year. The Yale Budget Lab says the richest Americans will see their income rise by nearly 2%. The lowest earning Americans will see their income drop by 3% when.
So really quick, guys, I'm sorry to pause so early, but if it's such a big gap, why include the rich people gaining 2% in the it just doesn't make sense to me. Every time poor people start working again, the left calls it losing income. No, it's not what it is. You guys are just losing control, so you guys start panicking every which way. Let's continue, guys. I'm gonna try not to pause it early. Make sure you're liking the video and sharing it. We really need to get this video out there. It's the truth.
Factoring in cuts to Medicaid and food stamps. You argue that the benefits will really be aimed at the middle class. How does that square?
Dana, first, let's have a look at the Yale Budget Lab, because I was looking at their findings, and this week I actually went on their website. They're all ex-Biden officials, so I think we can discount everything they say. I'd encourage all your viewers to look at the composition of both the board and the staff, and it's just not right.
Exactly. It's just not right. It's done by Biden's buddies in a lab coat. That's it. That's exactly what it is. The same exact people that are giving you guys news, like CNN that you see right there, MSNBC. I believe that they're lying to you because it told you Kamala was the one. Now Trump is the bad guy. But Trump was the guy, and he is the guy that's trying to make poor people work again and make America mean something. Where you go to another country, they will be like, "Oh, this guy's American." You'll be proud to be American. America be healthy again. Exactly what Trump is doing.
That what we have here is a middle class and working class bill.
Exactly.
That we we are going to see wages accelerate, and we are going to see, just as we saw with President Trump's first tax bill, we are making permanent these tax cuts. And what happened in 2017, 2018 was the highest wage earners went from paying 37% of all taxes to 45%. So that's going to be permanent now. So permanently, the highest 10% will pay a higher percent of the taxes.
I should say that, taking the Yale Budget Lab aside, there are Republican senators who are worried about affordability and who this all is going to affect.
Look, I think affordability, safety, and growth are the three things this bill is going to generate.
One of the tax cuts that are in here are for, and the president talks about them a lot, are on tips and overtime. Mm-hmm. Those are temporary. Why not make those permanent? They're only 2025 to 2028.
This is a big part of President Trump's agenda. So, we have what I call parallel prosperity here, that Wall Street has done great. Now it's time for working Americans to do great. And this is President Trump's agenda, so we've got it in for the duration of his term. And
So right there, when Trump says America first, he doesn't just mean the borders, right? He means you first, right? Waffle House workers, welders, truckers, anybody. That's who this bill is for. I don't know where the confusion comes in hand at. I don't know why people are not understanding it. That's who this bill is for. That's exactly who it's for.
And we will see if the next administration wants to do that.
And just talking about the affordability, how is making cuts on Medicaid programs?
Well,
how does that, and how it affects the people who are at the lowest ranking when it comes to income, how does that help with the affordability crisis in America?
Well, first of all, that affordability and saving Medicaid, let's separate those. And only in DC is a 20% hike over 10 years, a cut. So Medicaid funding will go up 20% over the next 10 years. The people who Medicaid were designed for, the pregnant women, the disabled, and families with children under 14 will be refocused. The able-bodied Americans are not vulnerable Americans. So a work requirement or a community service requirement, that's very popular with the public and many state programs.
So really quick, guys, you're able-bodied, then get able to work. Trump's not punishing the poor. He's simply waking up the sleeping workforce. What is so hard about that? What part about that does CNN not want to push? Why are you still trying to make it seem like Trump is making something that's hurting Americans? He's just telling you your 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 son that's been on the couch for ages, it's time for him to go to work. Stop taking care of him. Why are you not happy as Americans? You got your cousins over there. You got everybody over there. Why are you not happy that now those people can go to work? Why is that so? Where's the problem at? Please comment down below. Let me know if I'm tripping. Just let me know if I'm tripping. Why is it so hard of a problem that these people actually got to go to work?
Programs have that now.
It might be popular, but it's not what the president promised. The president promised that there would not be changes to Medicaid benefits, and putting a work requirement is, by definition,
Go
a
to
change
work.
to benefits.
No, there are no change in benefits. There's a change in requirements to get the benefits. And what we are doing, we are bringing back manufacturing jobs. We are bringing back working class jobs. By securing the border, we have already seen working class wages move up. So we are creating jobs. People can get off Medicaid and get a job that has good health care benefits, Dana.
In theory, that works, but I'm sure you've seen and heard a lot of the concern, including and especially from Republicans who are the most vocal in Congress, about the fact that those work requirements are going to be very cumbersome to actually prove, and it will inevitably force the people who need that Medicaid coverage off the rolls.
Well, first of all, the Republicans are not the most vocal on this. It is a group of Democrats who unfortunately seem to think that poor people are stupid. I don't think poor people are stupid. I think they have agency, and I think to have them register twice a year for these benefits, that is not a burden. But these people who want to infantilize the poor and those who need these Medicaid benefits are alarmist.
Yeah, but my impression of the Republican Party is that historically you've wanted to cut through the red tape and not create more red tape. But I do want to move on because
Well, no. But we've also wanted to put in work requirements, which somehow that was very popular under Bill Clinton, was popular under President Obama, and this Democratic Party blew out the deficit in 2020, and they never want to bring it back. But work requirements even poll well with the median Democratic voter, maybe not the fringe.
let's talk about tariffs. President Trump gave countries a 90-day pause on the sweeping tariffs he put in place back in April. That pause ends in 3 days. What happens on Wednesday?
We'll see. I'm not going to give away the playbook because we're going to be very busy over the next 72 hours. President Trump's going to be sending letters to some of our trading partners saying that if you don't move things along, then on August 1st, you will boomerang back to your April 2nd tariff level. So I think we're going to see a lot of deals very quickly. And, Dana, we're going to send out probably 100 letters to small countries where we don't have very much trade. And most of those are already at the baseline 10%.
Well, you said August 1st. Do you mean what's going to happen in August?
So the countries will get a letter saying that if we have not reached an agreement, then you will go back to the April 2nd level.
Starting when? On August 1st?
On August 1st.
Okay, so there's basically a new deadline.
It's not a new deadline. We are saying this is when it's happening. If you want to speed things up, have at it. If you want to go back to the old rate, that's your choice.
So really quick, guys, you want to know why Trump's winning? Because he's the only one playing offense while the left cries on defense. He's going to win every single time because he's not pouting. He's getting things done. He's putting you first, and he's making America happy and healthy again while he's doing so. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new. And as always, let me know what you react to. We're out.